Hello everybody and welcome. Today I've got a super exciting video for you. This is the Osmo Pocket 3 vlog, and today I have some exciting studio upgrades to go. So I will show you what I am currently using and what I am planning to upgrade here today. This is my editing station. This is my Komar Flexispot all-in-one sit-stand desk, which I have used and abused and absolutely loved for I don't know, 3 years now. And then I have a little Amazon Basics desk over here. And today we are going to upgrade the whole studio setup with some new gear sent over from Flexispot. This is the C7 mesh chair and the E7 Pro desk with a chipboard 58-inch, I believe, top. To say I'm excited about doing these upgrades is a huge understatement. I'm gonna get you into a motion lapse here soon while I assemble, unbox, get all that stuff set up. Just a quick heads up, I have been sitting at my desk now for 10 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week for probably the last 25 years of my life or so. I've been a big proponent of recommending office chairs instead of gaming chairs, which became all the rage, primarily because they're built to be sat in for long periods of time with ergonomics and stuff like that in mind. I'm going to show you what I currently use. I have probably spent somewhere in the region of $5,000 in the last 10 years on chairs, high-end chairs. My current chair of choice right now is the Steelcase Amia. This guy here. As you can see, I've got a cushion on it right now. Over time, these foam chairs, they essentially wear down a little bit. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pit the Amia against this mesh chair from Flexispot, the C7. I am so excited because while I have been a long-term fan of mesh chairs, switching over to a foam chair and then it losing its padding kind of sucks, especially when you spend that much money on chairs. Mesh chairs typically don't do that, and they last a little bit longer. So huge shout out to Flexispot. I'm gonna jump into a motion lapse. I'm gonna get this stuff unboxed. I'm gonna get it all out and we're gonna see what it looks like, see how that goes. Okay, so the E7 Pro from Flexispot was super simple to get built. Absolutely no real issues whatsoever. You can see everything is really well labeled. Everything is boxed and packaged really neatly. There was no shipping damage, no problems whatsoever on that front. So just get everything unboxed, get a lay of the land, figure out which bits are what. Take note when you start moving things around, because I ran into a bit of an issue that was completely my fault, but I'll explain that when we get to it. So all of the screws here that I'm opening and now attaching, they all come in a little bag and they're all labeled. So A, B, C, D. It's all really super straightforward. I'm going to unbox the tabletop now. This is the Maple, I believe, chipboard. Really impressed with the quality on this tabletop. I mean, it's not a butcher's block, but man, for the price of these tabletops, really impressed. So here we are lining up the main adjustable bracket which connects to the desktop. You want to make sure you follow the center line and make sure the front is facing forward. And to do this, there are a bunch of pre-drilled holes along the edges on both sides. They will represent the front of the desk. It isn't labeled, but the more you know. So you want to go ahead and start with the corners. When you start screwing this in, there are pre-drilled holes, so you don't want to be drilling accidentally any more holes. Again, super straightforward. I start on the corners, and then once the corners are nice and snug, I'll go through and add the remaining screws and then snug them down. And here we're just tightening the main adjustment bolts to hold that all secure. I made a mistake. There are 4 extra bolts you put in at this point. I didn't put them in. I went ahead and put them in afterwards, and that just helps kind of snug down that whole adjustment part of this desk. So here I didn't have a drill, so I'm just manually screwing these screws in. And now we are adding the legs. Super, super easy. Probably the easiest table legs you will ever install in your life. 4 bolts, start on the corners, same thing. Get the screws and the threads going. And then in a crisscross pattern, start tightening down one at a time. Don't go all the way tight on one bolt and then get to a point where you can't even get in the other bolt on the other side because you've tightened it down too much. So it's always good to do crisscross patterns when you're doing these types of bolts. I'm going to do a crisscross pattern here. You'll see I'll start with opposite corners and then I'll tighten down opposite corners. And then that'll just make sure everything's nice and flush and connected how it should be. These feet and legs just going super breeze, super easy. This whole portion of the build was incredibly easy. Now, some tips here. You can put the control panel either on the left or the right side. I choose to go with the left-hand side. There are pre-drilled holes. This is just 2 screws, maybe a minute and a half here. Now we're just wiring everything up and everything is color-coded and super, super straightforward. You can't get this bit wrong. Probably took 3 minutes maybe at most. And now this is where I get a little bit stuck, and this is completely my own fault. The piece that I'm holding here is not the piece that goes there. The piece I'm holding there is the cable management tray for your excess cables from like your PC, your screen, stuff like that. I'm looking at the picture and I matching it to the picture and it's not the correct piece, so that's my fault. Anyway, I go back to the cable management tray holder here. It isn't pre-drilled, so you're going to have to either pre-drill some holes or like I am here right now, like just manually screw them in. So you can give them a tap and, you know, a good amount of pressure, they'll start turning. Once they do, once you've got a little bit of a turn going, go ahead and put the bracket in place and then tighten them down. So you're using the screws to make your own pre-drilled holes. It's a little bit fiddly, but my drill was 4 stories downstairs packed in a box, so I had to just kind of make do with what I had. So when you get to this point, this is ultimately where the flexible Flexispot branded magnetic cover goes. It covers that entire bottom portion there. It keeps all those cables nice out of the way. It's magnetic. It's really awesome. I will show you in the final clip here when I'm done. Just know I didn't put it on during this build process here. I will show you that in a second. So yep, still manually screwing those screws in. A little bit of a pain, but we got there. Still trying to figure out what is going on in my life and why that bit is there when it shouldn't be. Don't worry, it was an easy fix. Just me reading the pictures wrong. Okay, when you're flipping it over, be careful. Get it into position, and yeah, super simple. For like 40 minutes maybe. I get it plugged in. Make sure I plug it all in properly. Lift it up and down. Yep, job's a good one. Okay, and it's done. That wasn't too bad at all. I struggled in one spot. I'll talk about that in a second, but this is the Flexispot E7 Pro desk done. All in, I think it was, probably 45 minutes, and about 15 minutes of those were just me faffing around and being a bit of an idiot, to be honest. But oh boy, even with the chipboard, like, this is a nice desk. I'm excited to give this one a full review, just in terms of weight, build quality, like ease of put together. I didn't even have a drill, so a lot of me faffing around in that hyperlapse there was just me trying to pre-drill holes with a screw. But I mean, there it is. So we got the desk done, and now I'm going to do this bad boy. Let's see how long it takes me to put the chair together. I'm hoping this one should be a little quicker. I'm a lot better at doing chairs. So I'm going to get my Osmo Pocket 3 charging, and then we'll do another super quick hyperlapse on the chair, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. So, see you soon. Okay, this is the unboxing and then assembly of the Flexispot C7 mesh chair in black. Now, this thing was really, really straightforward to put together, especially if you've ever built any kind of chair in the box, all in probably 15-20 minutes. So yeah, everything came packaged super well. The same as with the desk. The instructions were very, very clear, straightforward, super simple. The bolts were all labeled, super simple. So a bit of a pro tip when you're putting these chair inner boxes together is to prop one of the sides for the arms up with a leg, and then put the whole thing kind of over both of your legs to raise it up off the ground. So that way you'll be able to get those really long screws in nice and straight, not at like a funky angle. So you can see here I've got the whole base, chair base raised off the floor, and then that gives me plenty of room to go straight in with those screws. And then we just torque those down. And here is the main assembly for all of the mechanisms. I'm going to make sure that's facing front. It's got a big arrow which tells you which way you want to point that. And then here these bolts are pretty long, and you can see I'm propping it up here with my knees, just kind of keep it off the ground. I think this gives you the best position to get these really long bolts, and it's good that they're really long bolts. You got, you know, a good strong tight connection there of the seat base to the main mechanism. So just go through, get those nice and torqued down. And then this is a little bit tricky, but if you get the screws started in this position, it's not too bad. If you do have help, right about there would be the part you would need it. But once you've done it once, it's super simple. Just torque it all down, pop it on, and away you go. Yeah, really, really easy. And right now I am just cleaning off, dusting off, and I'm going to put the headrest on. Unfortunately, it was out of frame, but the whole time to get the headrest on took probably 30 seconds. So you didn't miss much. And I really do like this chair. It was a breeze to put together. All right, that's the C7 mesh chair in black, all done. Total time to build was probably 20 minutes. Not a problem at all. The E7 Pro desk is all done. I'm excited to give these guys a real shakedown here pretty soon. I think Mocha really likes it. What do you think, buddy? Yep, he agrees. So yeah, super impressed with how easy this thing went together. It's a pretty standard chair in a box, but it's incredibly comfy right off the bat. I'm excited to give you guys a detailed breakdown on that versus a much more expensive chair like a Steel Series or a Herman Miller or something like that. The desk is built like an absolute tank. I actually messed up a little bit in the time lapse and hyperlapse. I'll show you that real quick if I can get under here. Here is the magnetic cable organizer for all of the cables for the control panel. For whatever reason, I was trying to screw the cable organizer for your additional cables, you know, your monitor, your computer, all those cables go back in this cable tray, and then this Flexispot, you'll see here, it's like a magnetic, oh, it's so good. It's magnetic cable management underneath here. So I was a bit backwards on that, on the diagram, but I got that figured out. Love the branding. I really do like the branding on these Flexispot desks, kind of sorting out of the way, but you got a little bit more over here. Yep, I believe we have another peel. Beautiful. Okay, that'll do it for today's DJI Osmo Pocket 3 vlog. Season 1, episode 6, maybe? I got a lot of mess to clean up right now, oh boy. And it's gonna go on and on and on. Look at that, woo. All right, I'm gonna get to doing that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is UK. You've been fantastic. I'll see you in the next one.